You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Sounds like some bad movie.
So Looker is basically the story of Albert Finney's is a plastic surgeon, and he's been doing specific alterations for models, and they start turning up dead.
Yes.
And he starts digging into it.
Specifically.
And then he starts digging into it.
There's 4, and they start dying one by one.
And you're a stickler for detail.
But what is the mantra of this show?
So anyway,
you're the blowhard. I'm the fat guy.
I thought the mantra was just because you like it doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah,
that's what I've been repeating nonstop now.
Okay.
And so he starts digging into it. And turned out there's a whole conspiracy of a company. It's one of these great things. Michael Crichton wrote
and directed.
I'm breaking off of the synopsis because it doesn't make any sense to begin with. This wasn't based on a novel. This was a screenplay written,
correct,
by Michael Crichton.
Right. I think he didn't delve into Hollywood as a screenwriter director first, and then went into books because he was unsuccessful.
No. He got into screenwriting and directing because he wrote books, and they were Andromeda Strain was a made-for-TV movie based on his novel, and he got into Hollywood like that.
Got it.
And then he started doing movies.
So they just gave him a camera and said, "Here's $10 million, go make a movie."
They do that a lot. Yeah. I watched it a while before you.
You did. I just watched it last night, so it is really fresh in my head.
I usually date when I watch films. I didn't do that on this one. This was like a couple months ago I watched this again. And I saw it as a kid.
I never did.
I
never, ever heard of this movie.
I've only got 2 years on Joey, but those 2 years sometimes really have a vast difference in what I saw when I was really young and then he never got around to seeing.
Yeah.
When I was real young, when I was young enough to remember films and stuff, Looker came out in the theaters, and then it hit cable.
It came out in 1981, and that would have only put me at 5 years old.
Right.
That would have put you old enough.
It was like 7 or 8.
Yeah, to see it and kind of
by the time I hit cable,
understand it more.
By the time I hit cable, I was almost 10.
Right.
So I actually saw it,
And me, I saw The Thing before I saw just about anything else.
Yeah. So now Michael Crichton has always been a big. He's dead now. So we can't ask him questions. After Jurassic Park hit off, he was always went on record in interviews saying how Hollywood was stupid. I think he said that they're stupid because they would always they would mess up his books and stuff. And then when I went back and watched Looker again and I did some research and I found out wait, Michael Crichton wrote this and directed it.
Yeah,
it's an original thing.
And if you listen to the audio commentary, it's pretty good.
It's one. I haven't listened.
He thinks he's a complete visionary in this audio commentary. And we were going for this, and it's never been done before, and I think we were ahead of our time. And it's like Scott was saying earlier when I briefly mentioned it, because we save a lot of our stuff for the show. He said, whenever you hear anyone say they're ahead of their time and it's a bad movie, oh, that's a sign right there.
They're either delusional or just unwilling to admit, yeah, I made a mistake.
Yeah.
And I've listened to audio commentaries where the director says, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking here. This part didn't work.
He actually did say that during one of the scenes in the film, and we'll get to it. But
actually, that's like one of the things problem I had with John Carpenter's audio commentary for Assault on Precinct 13, because he spent so much time picking out, oh, that's obviously a fake thing there, and this and that. He was so negative on the film, he wasn't embracing it as the way his fans did.
No, you're right.
Now, I don't know why there's an audio commentary on Looker, because I don't know what fan base demanded that.
Maybe he was obligated.
Contractually?
Yeah.
Well, again, it's really, you don't want to badmouth your own films, even though some people do. Like Richard Dreyfuss, when he did Bush, or W, when he was promoting the film, he came out and said, that's half of a good film. And I agree with him. I thought that film was okay.
I actually haven't gotten around to seeing that either.
It's passable because everything that's in the film you already know except for like 1 or 2 scenes.
Yeah.
And Barbara Bush is miscast because she's like way prettier in the movie than she is in real life.
She's looked the same for... Oh, Barbara Bush. Never mind.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking about his mother.
No, she's well cast, but...
Yeah, she's looked the same for, what, 2 decades?
So Albert Finney tracks down the conspiracy. And here's the weird part of this film. The conspiracy is that this is Crichton technology, going through technology, and the conspiracy is that they're making perfect video... like electronic copies of these models,
yes,
and then killing them off so they can use their images on TV
without
paying them royalties,
yes.
and of course that raises questions like, so they have no loved ones, no one will ever recognize these people because they're models, so they've obviously done work before.
Yes.
So after they've been interred and buried, and they start showing up selling Mop and Glow, it's like, wow, what happened to them? So.
Hey, that's my cousin. What the hell?
I thought she died. It's like, well, she's obviously getting good work. And it really kind of breezes over common sense stuff like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the technology's kind of really wacky.
It's a little silly. It kind of takes the Tron aspect of...
Yeah, I was about to say. It's like the same approach to technology.
Well, you know,
as Tron.
a lot of films in the 80s took that Tron approach to technology, where it's like,
you know what,
we're just going to do this, and we can animate it, and we can make it look good, but that's not how it works.
Well, computers were so new that not only did most people not know how they worked 100%, I still say most screenwriters didn't understand. And watching this film, I'm wondering if Crichton fully understood, because he was a doctor. He did the medical aspect,
yeah,
and he was good at doing research and stuff, but I don't know if he really understood the computer technology at the time, and... Because if he was ahead of his time, we'd be killing models now, and just.
I mean, even if
actually, Looker is like Avatar's the end result of Looker, which means that Sigourney Weaver's probably dead now.
It's like even when the internet and technology and computers started to become more home based, you get films like the Sandra Bullock film The Net, where you watch that movie. They're getting things wrong in that too, you know, and it's just, wow, this is, you know, I think that came out in 94. Yeah, that came out like 94 or 95, something like that.
Well, it's because the internet was still new.
It was, but still, it's like what I'm saying is the trend of them really not knowing how everything worked.
Yeah.
Still going on.
Well, because in 1981, video games were still like you know,
Pong.
Well, not Pong. 81's not Pong, but 81's like
Atari 2600.
Yeah, Atari 2600, like colored blocks moving around the screen, and they're telling us soon they'll be able to scan people and you won't know they're real. You know, much like James Cameron doing now. It's like, honestly, they look like real. They look like real 7-foot tall blue people. I keep mentioning Avatar, don't I?
Yes, you did.
I should stop that.
Yeah, you said we weren't.
I know.
Well, you said you weren't.
I apologize.
I've stopped.
I was wrong. I owe $1 to the Avatar jar.
Okay.
I'm going to put an Avatar jar now every time I mention it.
But yeah, one of my notes is, you know, just how, you know, even back then in the 80s, where, you know, nowadays, plastic surgery, being thin, being attractive, not, you know, not being overweight in any way is glorified to a point today where it's just completely absurd.
It's the vanity of the society. And,
correct.
And it was true back. It's been true for a long time.
It's been true. And just watching this film, it just goes to show, even back then, it was bad, but how worse it's gotten through the years.
Now, actually, you could actually think of this film as a cross between Nip Tuck and Sim 1.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Did anybody ever see Sim 1? I know I didn't.
No, I never saw it. But I know what you're talking about.
Look it up. I'm sure no one out there's seen that movie. I don't think anyone... I would love to know if anybody ever saw that film. I don't know anyone.
I didn't even think you would have. You mentioning it was like, I know what you're talking about, but I've never seen it.
But the funny thing is, the film could take a very strong approach onto that.
Yeah.
And instead of doing that, he kind of tries to indict the model agencies and advertising and television.
Yeah. Huh.
And it's always kind of funny when somebody who's in he's in the film industry,
yes,
indicting television.
Oh yeah,
probably kind of maybe somewhat spiteful over something that happened with Andromeda Strain. Cause wasn't that made for TV movie? Or was that
the Andromeda Strain?
Was that a theatrical release?
I believe that was theatrical.
Okay, I just wonder if he had working in the industry, if he had like some problem with advertisers or something, because it's a very anti-advertising film.
Yeah, it's like
but
M.
never
Night
really.
Shalamalama Ding Dong doing Lady in the Water and killing off the reviewer.
Yeah, like here, I in my notes I wrote down during the film the premise of the film that advertising companies creating digital representations of models then killing them in order to save money
Right.
shows that Crichton knows much more about science and medicine than he does Hollywood. Like TV commercial actresses are paid that much.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, what's cheaper, using $1 million technology to create these models, or just paying them $500 and getting them out of here? I mean, I think porn actresses make more money than your typical commercial actor.
Yeah, sure.
So I'm guessing there. So if I'm wrong, please tell me I'm wrong. I don't care.
No, I think you're right.
They're probably more talented in some ways. Actually, I think half the actresses on commercials are pretty much whores. Men too. I think most actors on commercials are whores to begin with. My new favorite commercial.
Wow.
Dude, they're selling this. You see, like the pharmaceutical commercials now.
Oh yeah,
dude. I know I'm going off base here, but since we're talking about commercials,
yeah.
my new favorite one. My father and I we compare side effects from these things.
Oh,
there's one for depression.
Yeah.
Where
is that the one with the redhead with the little doll with the wind up at back?
No, this is one where they paint the people so they look like the background, like they're fading into the background.
Oh yeah,
it's a prescription medication for depression, and one of the myriad of side effects they mention is may cause suicidal tendencies. You think you're depressed now? Wait till you try to cure it. And one of these commercials even had one of the side effects is possible death. Possible death is a side effect. Wow. I think I'm okay with the acne. Don't worry about it. We'll work through this. But
yeah, it's like they have this new commercial for this. It's either a patch or a pill. I think it's a pill. No, it's a pill to quit smoking.
Mm-hmm.
And one of our friends is on it, and one of the side effects is suicidal tendencies.
Now, but you know why that is?
So I keep tabs on him.
You know why
Not
that
that
is?
he's a suicidal. This kid, he could run through fire and walk away okay.
You know why that is? It's because a lot of these anti-smoking medications is they're actually mood medication.
Right.
But
it changes your mood to not want.
Well, no. But what I'm saying is that was never the
taking
intention. That was never the intention of the disorder. They when they find out it's a side effect, where all these in the test runs, all these people that are taking the medication, they stop smoking.
Accidentally finding female Viagra.
So they re-prescribe the same medication for smoking, and then say, but it may fuck up your mood because it's not meant for smoking. It's meant for people that are psychotic.
Yeah.
So it's bringing you down.
Or you'll be so depressed you won't want to smoke.
Yeah. Are you depressed? Yeah. That's not as bad as that kid that flew the plane into the White House back when Clinton was in the office.
Oh,
he was on acne medication, and one of the side effects of the acne medication was suicidal tendencies.
Oh God!
I thought the side effect of acne for kids was suicidal tendencies.
Yeah, right.
Now, so this is an anti-commercial film.
It
really kind of plays on like this absurdity of commercials but ironically enough, it's for a commercial for a film that has whose main battle cry is against the evils of advertising. Mm-hmm. It didn't stop Budweiser or Fruit of the Loom from actually having product placement in the film.
Exactly. When I saw that Fruit of the Loom commercial, and I'm like, am I really watching this?
Because they're making up all these fake products to show the absurdity of commercials, and then out of nowhere, it's like a real Budweiser commercial. Like, what the fuck is that?
A real Fruit of the Loom. It's like, you got to be kidding.
I have to do some more research. I would love to know if there was any backlash. Because I remember, what was that film with Michael Keaton? Where he rents the house and then he destroys it from the inside out. Pacific Heights. There was a backlash from that because I think it was Orkin gave them
with the bugs.
Yeah, because Orkin gave them paid for in product placement in the film,
right.
And then in the film they play the exterminator as like an idiot. He's like stomping. Oh, look at this! Oh, Congress all over the place. He's like and Orkin's I think they either sued them or threatened to because hey, we paid you for product placement, not to make us look like idiots. No one's gonna call us now. It's like I'm wondering if Fruit of the Loom or Budweiser didn't understand the film and then it came out. It's like, wait a minute.
There's dead people in our commercial.
But wait a minute. We're the evil ones?
Hey,
then again,
advertising is advertising.
I don't know what's surprising. You know what? In the Budweiser commercials, I think the Budweiser one's first. It is because I had the red arrow for Fruit of the Loom. Because when Budweiser popped up, I was like, well, they're selling alcohol. I'm sure they know that they're not going to be boycotted because they're in this film. You know,
Right.
But then when Fruit of the Loom popped up, I said, wait a minute, who approved that one? I think 75% of the underwear in the world is male underwear in the world is bought by mothers and women.
Pretty much.
So I'm sure they weren't watching Looker.
Yeah.
I don't think many people were watching Looker. Yeah, but that threw me off. By the way,
yeah,
I have to nominate Looker, speaking of bad commercials,
okay,
for the best fake product ever. And you know what it is.
Spurt
toothpaste.
Wait, what are my notes? Hold on.
It's at the very end of the film.
Yeah, wait, hold on. What are my notes? Spurt. And one of my notes is James Coburn is in the film.
Yeah.
And they strategically play this Spurt toothpaste commercial as he's spurting blood all over the place from getting shot with one of the most unique, surprised looks I've ever seen James Coburn do. It's just...
You know what? It's like James Coburn and Albert Finney really have to look back at their career and say, you know, what was I thinking there? What was I thinking there?
Albert Finney was in Tom Jones, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, but he was also in Wolfen. So
yeah. This was actually like Wolfen.
Have you watched Wolfen yet?
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, we have to watch that soon because we have to talk about that.
We definitely should.
That's on my list of films I want to do audio commentaries on when we start doing the MST audio commentaries.
But it's just that was like this time period, like Wolfen, Looker, things like that. That's Albert Finney's career during this time period.
At least Albert Finney didn't have a sex, or did he have a sex scene in this? No, I don't think he did.
We saw his bare ass in Wolfen. I haven't seen it, but
I know. You didn't see his bare ass in Wolfen.
I thought you did.
No, you saw everybody else's bare ass. Well, you saw Gregory Hines' bare ass. You saw full frontal Edward James Olmos, a young Edward James Olmos.
Jeez.
And then Finney has a love scene, but I don't think you see his ass. I think you just see random patches of naked Finney.
I was looking forward to
but again, male nudity was my challenge. Your challenge had a lot of female nudity,
including Susan Day,
yes,
who was very opposed to the nudity in the film,
unless it was important to the story and integrity of Looker.
Well, you know what? From listening to the commentary and watching it as well, I found Crichton.
You told her the camera was off.
He basically. The scene called for her to be naked, and she didn't like it, but she was going to do it anyway. He said they filmed that for 3 days. She was naked over 3 separate days filming those very brief scenes.
How long did they film Albert Finney's fly through the air?
Oh, and him going through the glass?
I actually paused it. There's a fight sequence where the Mustache Man, we're going to talk about him in a minute, because he rocks.
Private Eyes. Watching you.
But Albert Finney's like fighting this guy, and he takes a punch, and then all of a sudden there's a shot of like the camera's like on a dolly, and Albert Finney's like his legs are stretched out like he's flying, and the camera follows him through a plate glass window. It is the worst fucking shot ever.
It's terrible. I think they use it in the trailer too, because back then it's like, look what we're doing with this. This is we're inventive, we're innovative,
it's like
we're ahead of our time.
Like Peck and Paw meets Saturday morning cartoons.
Mm-hmm. It was completely silly.
Actually, I think I rewound that twice to watch it. It's like, wow. Because I think from childhood, all I remembered was the flashy gun thing,
right?
And the commercial, like the the commercials at the end when like there's nobody there, but they're having to chase through that.
And Crichton is basically he's commending that scene. It's like, it took us a lot of time to do this, to set it up, and it may you may look at it now, but back then I was proud of it, and it's just like, all right, shut up.
I also nominate this for one of the best '80s film themes. She's a looker. She's a looker. The whole song at the end is like, it's great. I actually looked up the album.
Yeah, well, you know what?
I was looking. I wanted to get the.
One of my notes is the music might be for the time, but it still sucks.
Well, there's a whole.
It's very '80s. It has that very '80s feel to it, obviously, because it was in the early '80s.
Yeah, no, I looked it up and I didn't write it down. It was actually the person who did the music. They only
Tangerine Dream.
No. It was she had one album out.
Although I like,
and that was like the main song on it. But she only did 1 or 2 albums. I didn't write any of it down because it wasn't that interesting. But it was like a one-hit wonder person, and that was like her main song, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't write it down. Someone out there that knows music is probably clawing their eyes out because I'm just glancing over it.
I never.
She's a looker.
I never admitted to being an expert at music. But I don't know. It just the music in the film overall kind of sucks because then they have that slow motion futuristic music that just, which is just because it's one, it's in slow mo, and two, because it's a movie, of the future. We're going in this direction, so they feel the need to do this futuristic style music too to go along with its slow mo, and that doesn't work either. It's just there's a lot of things that just don't work in the movie,
right?
So
now the film actually was ahead of its time.
Okay.
Because as I'm watching the film, I'm making notes on. It's like, wow, I've seen this stuff before. There are films later that copied parts of this movie. For example, one of the main weapons in the film is the flashy thingy.
The stun gun?
It's this weird. It's a flashlight gun.
What did I actually call it? I actually called it a. You know what? It's on the next page.
It's a flashy gun that puts you into a trance and then makes it so you can't see the person who flashed the gun, which makes no sense.
It just completely stuns you, and you're completely frozen.
Right, but then don't forget there's also the thing where he can't see. Like, there's that one shot where after the mustache man flashy things him, he sees his legs under the table, but he can't see him above the table.
Yeah, it's so silly.
It's like Cameron, Creighton researched the science behind this, and there's 100% sound.
I called them the hypno guns.
They are going to have no guns, but I
like the hypno gun fight one, where he goes through the glass. But then I also like the hypno gun car chase.
Oh yeah,
I love my favorite shot, I think, in the whole movie is the mustache man in the car. Okay, and he shoots him with the hypno gun, and he just leans back and just gazes straight into space.
Actually, my favorite shot is my favorite one is at the big climax at the end, where James Colburn's trying to find, they're having that little race, and James Colburn finds his wife's dead body, and he kind of glances down like, oh, dead wife, and keeps going. No reaction.
He just goes, Jennifer?
Oh, you're dead.
Oh, all right. Let me drag you off to the side, and I'll take the elevator. Because God forbid you come up with me.
My beloved wife is dead. You're in the way. I'm trying to find this guy to get off the elevator. But it was like no expression whatsoever. I think at that point Colburn was like, whatever. Should I show remorse? No, just move her off the elevator. What?
Yeah.
But what was I saying?
You were talking about the mustache.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Well, no, the flashy thingy. Same
with
mustache
the
man.
Oh, okay.
So the flashy thingy is a precursor to Men in Black.
Yes, it is. It is.
Then you have the scene in the beginning where the model gets tangled up in the curtains and falls over the balcony onto a car.
Lethal Weapon.
There you go. You're with me, sir. Computer-generated people on television. What does that remind you of?
Wait. Now that's on the tip of my tongue.
Max Headroom.
Okay.
And then the idea of hypnotizing audiences, mesmerizing them to do your own bidding on television. What does that remind you of? Barack Obama. Yeah, see,
okay. I wasn't going to go with that. I was actually trying to think of a movie, not like the right wing, real life.
Reality is far scarier, my friend. If you don't think the White House is using that technology right now.
No, that's funny. But did you notice in the beginning of the film where she gets tangled up in the curtain and she falls on the car? Did you notice what happened right before she falls over the ledge?
No, what?
She drops the dog.
Well, you can't kill the dog.
Well, that's the thing. It's another one of those movies where it makes our list of where they don't kill the kid or the dog.
Movies where they save the dog.
Right.
Yes.
So it's just like they made a point to show you. It's like, why is she even holding the dog anyway? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But they make a point to show you that she drops the dog. Oh, the dog's okay. So she can fall on a car and just fall to her death.
I'm adding that to my list of movies that save the dog right now. Looker.
She's like, you got to be kidding me.
You know what I noticed at the beginning of the film?
What'd you notice?
Boobies.
Yeah.
I made the note right. Oh, I lost my place again. I made the note that boobies. First 5 minutes of the film, and we have boobies. Creighton knew his target audience.
That's right. He even got to show everyone Susan Day's boobies.
Hey, not in the first 5 minutes though.
Not in the first 5 minutes.
You had to wait for those,
but it does happen.
Yeah, there's a
She's
lot.
She's actually completely naked, but there's very stylish type of filmmaking where they.
It's called lighting.
Actually, where they're scanning her, it's completely dark in there. You can see her boobs, but you don't see anything You see her butt, but you don't see anything else.
Yeah. My favorite line of the film, we have to find the Looker lab. Like 18 times. We must find the Looker lab. I have to get into the Looker lab. The Looker lab. It should be called Looker lab. It's like Albert Finney's the Looker lab. And this is why novelists shouldn't write screenplays.
Right.
Is because they don't know how to do exposition on this. Like, dialogue purely for exposition. There's that scene, Albert Finney's reading instruction manuals to the audience. It says here that these guns do It's like, oh, what? Oh, it's just the dialogue.
This is unlike any other gun ever made.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
He's explaining it to the audience, so they're not like, what the fuck is that? Which you don't, again, like any audience you're watching,
right.
I don't need an explanation. The flashy gun thing, and he can't see. I got it.
It looks like a flashlight. Okay. It looks like a flashlight.
It'd be like if Avatar, that they stopped explaining the physics of the floating mountains. They didn't. They're floating mountains.
Yeah, and with a water source, we don't know where it's from, but it's just happening. Accept it.
I owe another $1 to the Avatar jar. Since you commented as well, you owe $1.
What? I only commented because you brought it up yet again.
You don't have to support me on that stuff, though.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In my notes, did anyone in the '80s actually know how technology worked? The answer is no.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we definitely know.
Yeah. Oh, and that chase scene at the end, or
yes.
that kind of not chase scene as much as like the hide and seek sequence at the end. Albert Finney is not what I would call cat-like. You know what? There's one part where he rolls.
Yeah.
It was almost like a comic. Like I could almost see Will Ferrell doing the same thing. He kind of like half rolls over and climbs, and it's like, yeah, Albert. Yeah, he is not the cat burglar.
You know what's funny about the end of the film where they're running all around through the studio?
Oh, but the whole scene is that they get, it's the big premiere of the whole commercial enterprise.
Right.
It's a big presentation for the commercial thing, but the big secret is that they're not real people. So I don't know what the big deal is about the commercials.
And you know what?
And this is some weird reality where commercials are live.
They're watching it live.
So they're in this big warehouse studio, empty warehouse studio, where all these revolving sets are revolving around because they could copy images of real people into the computer, but they couldn't pre-record these things and add them. Then they had to add them live. So while Albert Finney and his girl are being chased around by James Coburn and the Mustache Man, they're
ending up in these commercials, and people are laughing their asses off because of what's going on.
So the woman goes to open the trunk to show the car, and there's Albert Finney hiding in the back seat. So And so you work in the entertainment industry, and you have no idea how television works, sir.
Exactly.
Or he just assumes that people are dumb enough where they're not going to understand the basic concept of television. Which who knows? 80s, maybe he was right.
And what's interesting about the
as a 10-year-old, I didn't notice that that's not how things were made.
I guess so. I mean, and what's interesting in what you were just talking about, where there's a room full of people and they're watching these commercials, and it's like that's as many people you could round up for this, momentous, future-changing
as many
presentation.
Rich people.
But here's the thing, too. Earlier in the film, Albert Finney said he had to go to a black tie fair.
Yeah.
Okay, and he brings Susan Day with him. There's like 6 people in the room. Like, this is the worst black tie fair I've ever seen. It's like, are you kidding?
You know how scarce black ties were in the 80s, sir?
My God. I mean, you watch any, decent film that has some sort of a black tie affair, and it's like, it's hundreds of people, or, it's you can fill the room at least, So it just, whatever. But you were talking about the end of the movie where they're running around through the studios and everything. Did you notice the green neon floors?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Crichton actually talks about that in the commentary. And he basically says, we tried to get the green floor in just about every single shot when they're running around through the studios so the viewer doesn't feel lost and that they know where they are. And
I was lost a half hour into the film.
But wait a minute. Here's the best part. He talks about how when it finally made its transition to TV and cable, and because the film was shot in a widescreen format, about how it went to a 4:3 aspect ratio and it's a full screen format.
Yeah.
He said there were a lot of complaints about people getting lost and not knowing where they are in the end of the film because the green neon floor wasn't in the shots.
I'm listening to this audio commentary. I wish Crichton was alive now because I feel bad mocking him now that he's dead, but damn it, I'm so listening to that tonight.
You have to. It's hilarious. It's just really good stuff.
I'm gonna double check my DVD to make. There's only one DVD. It's got to be the same one, so I have to have the audio commentary.
Right.
Yeah, that's why they got lost, because of the green floor.
Yeah.
I tried to make sure that. I can't even get.
Pretty much.
Now, but the best part of the whole film is Tim Rossovich as Mustache Man. Speaking of ultimate 80s.
And Crichton did mention the whole Tom Selleck thing in the commentary.
For those who don't know Tim Rossovich, he's the Mustache Man. He's been in like every other film. He was in. He's one of the heavies in Night Shift.
That's right.
He plays a bodyguard in Soap, the series. He's the one that frisks the gay Billy Crystal. His character's gay, not Billy Crystal. Billy Crystal's not gay. It's just not funny.
I think Crichton actually, in the commentary, went along the lines of saying that he employed the Rossovich family for like 2-3 years.
Probably. Rossovich did a lot of stuff, and he would also double for
Tom Selleck
because they both look alike. They both have the same mustache.
He said that. He actually said it was uncanny. How much he looked like Tom Selleck, or how much they looked alike.
But in most of Rossovich's roles, he doesn't speak.
No.
He has a speaking. No. He has a line or two in Night Shift. Oh no, he doesn't play a heavy in Night Shift. He plays one of the Johns. He's like in his underwear.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. You're right.
I think he attacks because I think one of them goes to get the money from him because he wouldn't pay. He wouldn't pay for Shelley Long sleeping with him, which I wouldn't either. I'm on his side on that one. But I mean, Rossovich is just watching through the whole film because he shows absolutely no emotion whatsoever.
No, he doesn't. No,
and we're calling him the Mustache Man in the credits. He's the Mustache Man.
That's what he's credited as.
Not man with mustache. Mustache Man. Now, and his connection to Tom Selleck. Did he mention that in the criteria?
Yes, he did.
They both were roommates in college.
Yeah.
I like to think that they were the Mustache
duo.
Squad. Mustache Squad.
Mustache duo.
I need to get a hold of Rossovich, and I have to ask him. The only thing I need to know, all I want to know is, did they both have mustaches, or did one of them have it, and did the other one grow it because the other one had it? I mean, did they both? Were they both roommates? It's like, wow, we both have mustaches. We're kind of cool. Or was it one of the things like, Tom, that mustache looks good on you, or even the other way around?
Right.
Oh, Tim,
you really wear that mustache well?
Yeah, I think I should try that out. Well, yes, I do, Tom. Is Tim Rossovich responsible for the Tom Selleck mustache? And I'm not a fan of mustaches, but I will say Tom Selleck, one of the few men that actually looks gayer without a mustache than he does with it. If you ever watch In and Out, he doesn't have a mustache in that. And it's just like, I can see why he shaved the mustache, because without the mustache, he looks completely gay.
Yeah. Well, isn't that one of the biggest reasons why all those gay accusations came out, and he sued, and he rightfully won? Because he's not gay, but
I think they were just jealous of the mustache.
Probably.
I'm jealous of it. I don't like mustaches.
I mean, he got rid of the mustache later on in his career when he was doing things like Friends. He was he was a love interest in Friends for Courtney Cox's character.
But then he realized the error of his ways and went back to the Selleck stash.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'll take your word
for
it.
Later films like his westerns and stuff, he still had the mustache. Quickly Down Under. That's after.
That's all before Friends.
Oh, Friends. I'm sorry, Friends.
What do you think I said?
I thought you said Cheers. Well, Friends was around the same time as In and Out too, so that was that time. Yeah. He has the mustache now. He's back with the mustache.
Was he ever in Cheers?
No. I just went with it. I'm not gonna say. What do you mean? I never heard of that. I'm just assuming you know what you're talking about.
No, I don't.
But Rossovich is the best part of this whole film.
Oh, he's great.
And
like I said, when he's in that car chase with the hypno gun and he just leans back and stares into space, it's just like, because normally when you get hit with the hypno gun, you just freeze in place. But in the car, he goes out of his way because he's looking out of the car, gets hit with the hypno gun, and goes out of his way to actually lean back in the chair and stare into space because he's hypnotized now. It's just hilarious. The hypno guns are hilarious in this movie.
I mean, I love the fact that Mr. Crichton, the guy who did Jurassic Park, and everybody praised it, and you go back and watch this, it's like, wow. Wow. I mean, the attention to scientific detail is stunningly horrible. Now, before the podcast, you had said to me, yeah, didn't he do another film after that?
Or even before. I know he did it was after. I know he did something else.
I wouldn't tell you because I wanted to get you. I wanted to see your expression when I tell you.
Okay.
Because he took a 10-year hiatus between the next film he did after Looker and Jurassic Park. So for 10 years he didn't do films.
Well, he just wrote.
He just wrote novels. He wrote novels.
Well, Jurassic Park was done by Steven Spielberg.
What I'm saying is between that 10-year period, before Jurassic Park, he spent 10 years without writing or directing anything.
Fine.
All right. The film he did 2 years after his big follow-up, The Looker,
Yes.
was Tom Selleck in Runaway.
Oh.
That's right.
And then the Tom Selleck,
Gene Simmons is the bad guy.
Rossovich thing comes full circle.
Doesn't it?
Because I can guarantee you, I don't even have to look. I know that Rossovich was doing stunt double work for him in Runaway now.
And the crappy sci-fi technology comes full circle too. Because anyone who doesn't remember Runaway, which at the time was
if you're lucky,
if you're lucky, I remember the commercials. It was a big deal at the time.
Oh yeah.
And it's Tom Selleck as a futuristic cop, and in the future, Gene Simmons is a genius inventor, and he creates these little square boxes with legs, like little robots, and they crawl like spiders and inject acid into people.
God, I vividly remember this movie as a kid. Now this I saw.
Yeah.
This I absolutely saw and remember vividly. Not Looker. I had to obviously,
I think it was Tom Selleck's low point and Gene Simmons' high point as far as films go.
My God. Runaway. What a terrible fucking movie.
He's a runaway.
He's on a runway. My God. Oh, my head hurts.
That's got to be a future challenge now. I got to go back and watch that because...
You got a copy laying around? Your parents might own one?
No. I have to find this.
You know what? I would venture to say my father has a boxed VHS copy of Runaway.
I have to check
because my mother loves Tom Selleck, so he can't do wrong in her eyes.
I'm not even sure if it's on DVD. I have to double check that.
I don't think so. I think if we were to watch it, we'd have to go to my parents' house and get the VHS box copy.
But yeah, that's when you said that, so I think he made other films. Oh yes, he did. And then after that, he said, let me stop.
He didn't do anything after Runaway?
Stop. No. According to IMDb, it was a 10-year gap between Runaway and as far as filmmaking, he has no credits between those the 10-year period.
Wow.
He kind of like stopped. And I think it was also, after doing Looker and Runaway, I think they stopped optioning his scripts for a while. They didn't really have anything based on this stuff for that 10-year period either.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah. Anything else to add for Looker?
No,
skip anything on your notes?
Well, what have I got here? It's just
there's so much in that movie.
There's just you know what? I hate keep going back to the hypno guns, but they are hilarious. I mean, the whole fight scene. It's like he is beating the living shit out of Finney.
Mm-hmm.
He could have killed him 10 times over, and then later in the film, he is trying to kill him. So it's like, why are you just playing cat and mouse with him? But then again, the movie would end there.
Yeah.
But realistically, if that scene is happening for real and you got a hypno gun, you use a hypno gun, then use a real gun. You're done for the day. Any real criminal would have finished off Finney very quickly instead of just toying with him for that whole scene. And then getting his own ass handed to him because Finney ended up with a hypno gun. It's like, come on.
You know what the funny thing is, too? I think like modern day now,
yeah.
if they tried to do something like this, it wouldn't have been a secret conspiracy. Can you see like I can see let's see, Al's come out. Say, yeah, we killed all the Fox News commentators and replaced them with computer clones. Yeah, no, we did it. So, okay.
What are you gonna do about it? You're gonna tune in. That's what you're gonna do.
Yeah. You gonna arrest me?
But no,
let me see if I can make bail.
But I think that's it for Looker. I think that's it for Looker for a very long time.
Well, I think we should wrap this up.
I think so.
We didn't leave time for anything else because Looker.
I know.
Looker's just. I won. Come on, admit it. I won hands down this time. I won.
You did win.
I won. I mean,
you did win.
Women in Love is
the only thing that I got to see boobies. That was it.
Yeah.
See,
even with that, I still think I won because that was definitely the worst film.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
you didn't like Woman in Love, but...
No, I didn't like it, but I do accept that it is a work of art, like you were saying, and the cinematography was amazing, and I'll accept it for that. But it bored the living hell out of me. This made me laugh my ass off, but it is a terrible movie, a truly, truly bad film. If there's any film that ever fits our show. About what we do and what we talk about. This is it.
This is it. Looker's like Quinn. It's like Looker and Jim Cotta are like up there, like the two.
Yeah.
I would like Looker is Jim Cotta worthy.
I think so.
Looker is the Jim Cotta of that. Yeah, I mean, Jim Cotta is really the standard we have for bad films, and Looker is it because Jim Cotta is also so bad that everyone loves it.
Yes.
And I think Looker's that same thing. I think Looker is just, it's so bad that I have to watch it again and again.
Yep.
I have no problem watching that. Woman in Love? I don't know.
Yeah,
but Looker?
Snorefest.
Yeah. So
but,
it's so bad. I love it. So
I'll watch it with you.
So wrapping up, I won this movie challenge.
He sure did, bastard.
And we want to ask you all to go to Moviesucktastic.com.
That's right. Yeah, go to Moviesucktastic.com. You can listen to the podcast right there. We've embedded an audio player. You don't want to take it with you? Fine, you can listen to it right on the site. If you do, you can download it. You can go to podcast.com, podcastalley.com. You can go to itunes.com. Also, you can become friends with us on Facebook, or you can go to our blog, which is boothreviews.blogspot.com. And you can email us at themovieguys@moviesucktastic.com.
And pretty much all of those links are at Moviesucktastic.com.
Again, that is your central hub for everything.
Everything that is Moviesucktastic is from there.
That's right.
All you haters that are now angry with me because all you lovers that are angry with me because my hate of Avatar now, you can contact us through there.
Let us know about it.
If we get enough angry emails about Avatar,
we'll read them.
We will have an Avatar only episode again. Just to
we said we wouldn't. But if you do email us and enough of it is good content, we will.
If we get enough, I mean, go ahead, call me names. I don't care. I mean,
I do all the time.
Yeah. I also want to plug real quick. I want to plug rifftracks.com.
Okay.
Also cinematictitanic.com. These are everybody from Mystery Science Theater 3000 is still doing the riffing thing.
Right.
They're doing it on Riff Tracks with Mike Nelson and Kevin Murphy, and then the rest of the crew is doing Cinematic Titanic. Their last one that just came out was East Meets Watts.
That was great.
It's a copy of their live show, which I actually have tickets to go see in April.
You gotta let me know how that goes.
I'm dying to see that.
That looks like it's a blast.
Oh, I'm seeing that in Princeton. So, I check out those two sites. They're really good. Also, podcast. The only one I really like right now that promote big time is Outside the Cinema. Yep. Got to listen to these guys. These guys are how it's done. They just hit their 100th episode, and they are a perfect example of what is great about. Besides us, they're a perfect example of what is great about movie podcasting. So, tune into them. And also, Homestead Coffee Roasters are my coffee guys. Dead Man's Brew. You can buy their coffee from homesteadcoffeeroasters.com.
That's about it.
I think that's it. So this brought to you by Spurt Toothpaste. The toothpaste that comes in your mouth and not in your hands.
Ooh. Let's get the fuck out of here.
All right. Made you laugh.